What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I appreciate each and every one of you. Whether you're here because you're riding electric unicycles and you want to learn the tips and the tricks, or just hear the interesting commentary about the community, or you're just into the idea of seeing people ride around on these crazy Gizmo Duck electronic things, wherever you stand, maybe you're waiting, you're thinking about it, and that's why you're here. Or you just like supporting people who are really passionate about stuff. And if that's the case, then thank you, thank you, thank you. Some people say I have a nice voice. If you're here for that reason, you need to go and get a psychological evaluation because my voice annoys me. But I'm happy that you're here. Right now, we're out here hanging out with Joey Fra. I met Joey at the Holiday Hootenanny. Well, I didn't meet him there. I met him a little bit before that, down in Santos in Ocala, Florida, as a happenstance sort of meeting with the PEV Connection. It was for a trail work day down at the Vortex jumping area, and Joey was out there and a few other people were out there. He was riding a Master at that point in time, and I was riding my V14, and I ended up breaking the pedal hangers on the original E-Rides pedal hanger modification at that trip. Ended up using my Master for the rest of that trip. But I met Joey out there at that time, and he was a super respectful kid, man. You always see horror stories about how young people can be, or the videos of people just being disrespectful. And I've been to some group rides where people are not as considerate as I tend to try to be in my own community. So, you have these apprehensions and concerns when riding with people sometimes. But man, Joey, he's just a damn gentleman. He's a good dude, man. Real good dude. I liked riding with him quite a lot. So we're out here ripping around on the Master Pro and the Sherman L. The Master Pro is, I've said it, it's like the last of the camels. And I say that because it's this big, lumbering, chunky, massive thing that is made for what feels like infinity miles. It just goes forever and ever and ever. It's got a cruising speed of 55 miles an hour. It weighs 115 pounds. 10 hours to charge to 100%. Max load of like 300 pounds, and it's got a 4,800 watt hour battery. The range, that's supposed to be something like 190 miles. I don't know about that. I mean, if you were going like 15 miles an hour, you probably could get, 120 miles, 150 miles. But being able to get 190 miles out of this wheel, I don't know, man. I regularly get something like 50, not 50. Probably around like 80 hard miles, like real hard miles. I get probably like 80 miles. And Joey, he's ripping around on his veteran Sherman L. That thing moves. It's got 57 mile an hour cruising speed. It weighs 102 pounds, 3 hours to charge to 80%. It's got a max load of 320 pounds, battery capacity of 4,000 watt hour. The range is 125 miles on this thing. In practice, just so you know, I've got my modified Clark pads on my Master Pro with the Clark kit, and Joey has his power knobs on his veteran Sherman L. There is so much to say. We were out here riding around the airport, and man, the kid, there's so much to say. Whenever I ride with people, typically, I have to dial back my pace. I have to slow it down. I have to be very considerate and mindful of more things than just the cars. I don't want people pushing into a place where they don't feel comfortable, where they no longer feel safe. They are riding past their capabilities. That's the term, I think. They're riding past their capabilities. And so when you're riding with most people, if you like to go fast, if you practice, riding trails hard, if you practice street riding in a respectful pragmatic way, and that is for the longevity of it. Like, if this is how you're commuting, if this is how you're getting around, and you have, dialed in the way that you move and the way that you move through your community to such a degree, then you'll be able to get along pretty quick. And I didn't realize until trying to ride with other people on a number of different occasions that riding skills, and I don't know, tell me what you guys like. So I'm sure that you guys have gone on like group rides, right? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were being pushed past your like riding comfort or threshold, or were you in a situation where you yourself were the person that was having to dial it back? Like, you were like the fastest person that was in the group ride, so you kind of had to dial it back. However that worked out, let me know. But for me, this is kind of what happened. Normally, I'm having to like slow down, and I'm having to wait quite often. So I'll like ride up to a corner, and then I'll stop and I'll wait for people to catch up, or I'll try to go really, 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 really slow. And sometimes that's just not good enough, even in terms of trying to make sure that I'm being mindful. It's very challenging to go slow enough sometimes. So with Joey, this was completely different. I knew that Joey was a good rider, but pairing Joey as a rider with his veteran Sherman L made it so I got to really explore the ceilings of my capacity. Like, I really got to just like haul and have a good time and just rip and ride. So we went out to a lot of the cool places that I know we can go fast and not have to worry about any sort of traffic, not have to worry about people. Mostly, I tried to get us into places where we didn't have to worry about people. If there were instances where we were going to have to worry about people, like out by the airport, there wasn't a whole lot of people. There wasn't a whole lot of that sort of stuff. But as we went around to the other trails, on the Hawthorne Trail, there's more people there. So I tried to be respectful again. But the thing that I feel like I really loved about how Joey was riding is that he was super duper fast, really able to keep up. Every time I was like, all right, time to boost, time to have fun, he was really all over it and had fun with it, and he was ready to rock and roll. But he wasn't buzzing people. He wasn't being reckless with the way that he rides. And there's just so much to that. It keeps your community safe. It makes sure that there's longevity for you. It's, if you're being disrespectful, or if you have somebody come in from out of town that, they just don't get the lay of the land necessarily, or they're just a little bit reckless with the way that they ride, blowing stop signs, blowing red lights, or, going way faster than, the pedestrians that they're passing and stuff like that. Just depending on where they are and what the situation is, this could sometimes create like problems at home. Joey is the perfect gentleman, guys. He's the perfect gentleman. So enough doting on how like awesome he is. You're gonna see the whole time like him riding and just like locking it in. Keep your eyes on this kid. I mean, he moves amazing. He's a great rider. Super duper great rider. I really thought that the Master Pro V3 was going to be more than adequate to ride with the Sherman L. Have any of you done this group ride? The long range big boy things? A Sherman L alongside a Master Pro, or even maybe like an EX30 or something like that. But, in this case, the Sherman L versus the Master Pro. And tell me what you thought about your experience with that wheel, whether you were on the Sherman L or you were on the Master Pro. I really want to know what you thought about like riding with each wheel. So I'll tell you a little bit about my experience, and that way you can use that to kind of frame up the way that you'll comment back in the section below if you're, if you've done this kind of long range big boy group ride thing. The first thing I noticed is the torque. You'll remember back in the specs when I mentioned the Sherman L, even though it has a smaller motor, 3200 watt motor, than the 5,000 watt motor of the Master Pro, it is tuned in a way that has more torque. So the load for the Master Pro is 300 pounds, while the load for the Sherman L is 320 pounds. I'm about 30-40 pounds heavier than Joey. He's like 140, 150, something like that. And I'm right at like 185, 190 on any given day, something like this. So I was pushing the torque load for my Master Pro while he was under the torque load, well under the torque load for his, and I'm not like 300 pounds. I'm saying that I am heavier on a lower torque wheel. Follow me. I am a heavier person on a lower torque wheel, right? With even a bigger tire, which presents a lower torque sensation anyway. So it's a bigger diameter tire. So that is going to lower your perception of the torque and the torque output. And so I'm riding next to Joey, who is a lighter person on a higher torque wheel with a smaller diameter tire still, giving it the perception of even more torque. So the way that this felt, and I'm pretty sure that this is how it is. I mean, I'm like, again, tell me your experience, guys. The way that this felt riding next to him was that he could, in a blink, do this very aggressive acceleration. He could almost make it feel like my wheel was standing still, because my acceleration had to be quite linear, whereas his acceleration could be a little bit more aggressive. So he could dump while he was at speed. And that was such a cool thing to see, because if I dump at speed on the Master Pro, how many of you guys have a Master Pro? Tell me that this has not happened to you. If you dump as hard as you can at speed on the Master Pro, it does what? Anybody? The pedals dip, bruh. They dip. It sponges out, and it scares me. I have had my Master Pro V3 with the 50S batteries. I've had this thing sponge out 2 times. Now, it aggressively snaps back to level, but the fact that it sponges out when I try to initiate an aggressive acceleration at speed keeps me leery at best. So that's the big thing that I noticed, was that it seemed, in a sentence, torquier and faster. It's true, for sure. And then with regard to the range, there was this really weird phenomenon that we had an opportunity to test, because we went out for a super duper high speed ride. Okay, so after the first high speed ride, we both had right around, like, it was the same amount of battery. So we'll just say for posterity, we'll say it was like 40% battery. We both had, just to make it even, we both had right around 40% battery. Well, we charged up our wheels while we went out to rip on the Lynx and the Master version 4, and his wheel was able to get up to, I forget, it was maybe 3 hours that we let him charge, and he charged at, I think, 10 amps, and I charged at 9 or 8, or he charged at 9. He charged at 1 amp higher than I did. I think he charged at 10, and I charged at 9, and he got damn near full battery, and I got, it was like 87 or 90% battery at that point of the ride. And so we go back out on another high-speed ride on our big wheels. It was about a 30-mile ride, and my battery was significantly lower than Joey's by the end. So the Master Pro battery was significantly lower than the Sherman L by the end. So he had a smaller battery. He was able to charge it up a little bit quicker, and I had a bigger battery. And even though I feel like I reclaimed about the same amount, well, not the same exact amount of watt hour, but just this weird phenomena, it was like he charged up to damn near 100%. I got up to about 93, 87%, somewhere in there. And he was able to have a more useful, fun experience, I think, and a less big package. So it's like, if you were interested in having a wheel that is like the dream long range wheel, that is something that can be charged up, that is like practical, that is going to feel amazing. I mean, like, I didn't really ride it. I rode it just a little bit just to say that I rode it. But if you really want this complete and total long range package in a really good size and a really great form factor, man, Leaperchem just knocked it out of the park with the Sherman L, man. They absolutely creamed it. They did so damn good. And I don't think I would have gotten that impression as much if I was like riding it directly. It's like riding it side by side, seeing physically how it moved next to what my wheel was physically able to do was just a miraculous thing to see, and a true testament to the engineering of Leaperchem and what they've done over there. So thanks guys for hanging out. No, I'm long-winded and all that stuff, but it was a blast. So long story short, it's got more functional range and it's faster. So there you go. The Master Pro wins in only one space, and that's because a 22-inch tire feels like a freaking 22-inch tire. It has got so much inertia and gyro sensation that it is just really hard to compare in terms of the ride feel. But when you've got the fork suspension that Leaperchem has, I mean, there you have it. So that's just going to be a matter of preference, really. But I definitely think that Leaperchem knocked it out of the park with the Sherman L. If you do decide to get yourself a Sherman L, I can tell you, you're not always going to have an amazing time with your veteran wheels. I've had a patent that I absolutely love, and it has given me lots of problems. You know, I beat my wheels up, and if you're the sort that beats your wheels up, or you're just not the sort to be able to sort out technical issues by yourself, then the place that you need to get your veteran Sherman L is from eWheels. eWheels will make you feel like they were your neighbor. They will not let you feel alone. You can purchase with utter and complete confidence that you're going to be taken care of every step of the way by somebody who knows these wheels inside and out. Hell, they've partnered with Leaperchem for quite some time and have helped fund a lot of the upgrades and have motivated them to keep on making these amazing wheels via your support. So guys, purchasing from the Leaperchem ecosystem is, you know, purchasing with purchasing parts into perpetuity, because they have sold so many units. They have sold so many units. It is more likely that you'll be able to have parts for these wheels into the future. So that's it, guys. My little 10 cents and my little rip with Joey. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. You know, these are beautiful roads out here in Gainesville. Come out, hang out, visit with me sometime. I'd love to take each and every one of you on an awesome ride and an adventure, if it's possible, you know. But make sure that you can safely keep up, okay? And only respectful folks. Only respectful folks. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you have the most amazing of days. I've got some more content with Joey coming pretty soon. Tell me what you think about Joey's riding style. He's pretty amazing, right? Thanks again, and until next time, guys, ride safe, ride strong, and do all the beautiful things. Stay safe. Love you guys. Bye.
You're gonna bug when you see it, man. It's pretty cool. Bro, you're gonna teased already. And welcome to Narnia, bro.